beautiful. And the house at the end, isn't that house absolutely beautiful? I said to Christine when we were courting, nearly 50 years ago now, I said, one day we're going to live in that house. And you know, we haven't.
Going to use some belly of pork. He used to use that in the sausages, but of course he loved roast pork, did Mike, because he didn't really get it at home. Skin off, so there's no crackling in this, and most of the fat off, but keep some of the fat on there. It looks lovely, and if you can get your butcher to get you that nice square piece that fits in a roasting tray, so much the better. And then we've got some wonderful fresh vegetables here, and I've also got a bit of cabbage. This we're going to keep green and creamy. So firstly, let's just chop these vegetables up. And this is a slow cooking job. It takes bags of time, but it will give us lots and lots of flavour. There's no real recipe for this bit. It's what you've got. If you've got bags of it, so much the better, because it will be worthwhile. And the gravy you get from this is just delicious. I'm not sure that Michael's mother-in-law would have put garlic in there, but nevertheless. We put all these vegetables in 2 bits. Let's put a bit of oil in this pan here. And I'm going to put half the veg into there. And add some fresh thyme. And the rest of it goes into this roasting tray.
When I grew up in the 50s, I didn't know that you could get cheese other than in those little silver packets, they're rather like plasticine. I didn't know you could get proper cheese until I came to Hereford. And Christine's mother had these great, wonderful blocks of really tangy cheddar and Stilton and cheeses like that. And now, look what you can get in Hereford. I mean, a lot of local cheese. Hereford Sage, Little Hereford.
Good, isn't it?
Little Hereford is
yeah,
great.
Unpasteurised. Lovely cheese.
Does that mean I'm going to be ill?
No, you won't be ill. You've not eaten enough.
All right.
There you go.
Thanks very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So now we need to get all these wonderful flavours into our stock, our juice, just to cook the pork in. Some stock. Some red wine. Soy sauce. Some Worcester sauce, because it comes from nearby. And a touch of local honey. So now we're going to put the pork belly, skin side up, and here we're going to put our stock. Now the thing about the stock is, when we cook it, it might all evaporate, so have a bit of stock ready just in case you need to top it up. That smells delicious. Just take the veg off a little bit to the side there, or give it bags of flavour, and slowly cook the pork, and then it'll colour the fat on top there. We're going to put this in a slow oven for about 2.5 to 3 hours, and it really cook really through, and the stock evaporates, all the flavour gets together. It's going to be delicious.
This was where you had a sophisticated night out in the end of the 1960s. The old Imperial, it was a steak bar. You'd go there, you'd have a schooner of sherry, you'd have a prawn cocktail, you'd have a rump steak, and then Black Forest Gatto. Perfect meal. Oh, and an Irish coffee at the end of it. High living in the 60s.
For my pork belly dish, I've placed the trimmed meat on top of mixed raw veg, onion, celery, carrot leek and tomatoes. I've cooked the rest in stock, red wine, Worcester and soy sauces and a drop of honey. The mix goes in with the pork to slow cook in the oven for around 3 hours. I prepared another one last night and removed the veg to reduce into a flavoursome liquor.
What a change. This is the Sausage House courtyard.
It is indeed,
And
yes.
you've turned it into Le Tour d'Argent.
Now there's a great restaurant. So what we've done, I've tried to come up with a dish that will make you think back to your youth and your childhood. So you'll see we've got some wonderful green cabbage there that is green, and it will be green when we serve it to you.
And I'm not going
Yet.
Yeah. No.
And under here, what I did was I took some pork belly and I cooked it for about 3 hours, pressed it here, it's been in the fridge overnight as this. I think looks delicious.
Oh, gosh. May I smell?
You may certainly. Any other place in the
We
bush?
only ever had lamb, overcooked lamb.
Yeah.
Pork, it's so rich and lovely, isn't
But
it?
it is nice, is this kind of pork, when it is not overcooked, but
Yeah.
it's well cooked.
Yeah, look at that.
It's wonderful stuff.
Oh, look at that.
Just look at that.
Oh, wow.
I tell you what, I've given in already, but you can have
great,
that
great. Thank you very much.
bit. Over here, so look, and let me get these eggs ready.
Mm.
This is a very old style of dish.
Not a Weight Watchers special, though.
Not at all, no, no. But you don't have this every day, sir.
No.
There we go. Right, so seasoned flour, salt and pepper in flour. The flour is there to help the egg stick, and the egg is there to help the breadcrumbs stick. So it's not an expensive meal at all, isn't this? We make sure it's covered up nicely, but we'll actually pat that down to make sure they all stick together. Got a pan on here. We're going to put a little bit of rapeseed oil in.
Why do you use rapeseed oil?
I love the smell.
Yeah.
It's cheaper. It's good for you, omega-3. Having said all of that, I'll still put a bit of it in there. So I put that in there. Now remember, this is cooked thoroughly. It's been cooked for 3.5 hours. So in effect, all we're doing is going to get a really nice colour on it and make sure it's hot. Let's have a look. Yeah, that's okay.
Just the right golden brown, eh?
Yeah, they're coming on nicely, those. It's lovely. Now this bit of cabbage, I think it's very underrated, and I think it's because exactly the same reason that you have trouble with cabbage, because people have treated it like Brussels sprouts. They just treat it badly. Absolutely right. Just take out the stalk there.
It takes trouble, doesn't it?
It does. Well, listen, you are worth it, Mr. Bird. So we're just going to shred it so it's nice and thin. But just look at it. See the colour of it.
Yeah.
It is too nice a colour to
fresh and green,
destroy.
isn't it?
Absolutely. Okay, so I've got some boiling salted water on here.
Yep.
And I'm going to plunge this into boiling salted water. And then take it out and put it into iced water to shock it. And that keeps the colour. Okay, so we put double cream into here.
Oh.
Not a lot. I want that just to reduce a bit, to thicken up. I'm going to put a bit of butter in there, just a little bit. Listen, you want to like cabbage, don't you? You're going to like this. Look at the colour of that cabbage.
Yeah. But it was only in for seconds.
But exactly, but that's the whole secret. As you well know, people cook it for too long, so we put that in there. Okay. Bit of salt. Bit of pepper. And that's ready to go. Just give it a little bit of a stir. So now we just put that lovely bit of wonderful green cabbage in the middle of the plate there. Now let me show you here. Look, this is the stock that was left.
So that stock, and it's got
It's got all those flavors, everything, all those flavours in there, and I've actually just put that to reduce. See how it's changed
it's really quite
consistency.